Brother, let me ask you something first. Have you ever noticed how what women say they want rarely matches who they actually choose? That contradiction isn't random, and it isn't cultural. It shows up everywhere, in every age group, in every social circle. If you asked women directly about it, they would shut it down immediately. They would call it unhealthy. They would say it sounds outdated or manipulative. That response is almost automatic. So forget the explanations, forget the opinions. Watch what they respond to instead. Because behavior tells the truth long before words do. And when you start paying attention, a pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Different countries, different values, different personalities, the same emotional reaction. There is one underlying factor that works regardless of what a woman claims to prefer. It doesn't matter if she sees herself as modern or traditional, independent or relationship-focused, progressive or conservative. This operates below conscious choice. It bypasses logic and social conditioning. It taps into something instinctive and deeply rooted. Even when she recognizes it happening, she still feels it. And that is exactly why it's rarely admitted. Because admitting it would mean accepting that attraction is not purely rational. That instinct often leads, and explanation comes later. That desire doesn't always follow intention. What women say they want, and what actually draws them in, are often not the same thing. Not because they are dishonest, but because most people don't fully understand their own motivations. That is simply human nature. The Stoics were very clear about this. They believed self-deception was one of our greatest weaknesses. Marcus Aurelius spoke about the discipline of seeing reality without illusion. Attraction is one of the areas where illusion thrives. The truth about female attraction is rarely spoken plainly. It isn't created by words or persuasion. It responds to something quieter, something internal, an inner state. Today, I'm going to break that down, not as a trick, not as a technique, but as a fundamental truth about how attraction really works. This might challenge what you've been told. It might make you uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the doorway to clarity. And if you're willing to look at reality, instead of comforting stories, stay with me, let's get into it. Here it is. The one thing that works on every woman without exception. The thing she will almost never admit, out loud. It is genuine indifference to her validation, combined with clear purpose in your own life. Not coldness, not being rude, not playing games. It is the calm, authentic state of not needing her approval to feel grounded. At the same time, you are deeply invested in something that matters to you. Something bigger than her attention. Something that gives your life direction. This combination is powerful because it cannot be faked for long. It comes from how you live, not what you say. Women feel it immediately, even if they cannot explain why. Let me explain why this works at such a deep level, and why women will never openly say it matters this much. Because once you understand this, attraction stops feeling mysterious. It becomes predictable. But at the core of female psychology is sensitivity to value signals, not social value, as in status alone, but internal value. The sense that a man has options. Women are biologically wired to notice men who are not easily shaken, men whose lives do not collapse if one woman walks away, men who would be fine, emotionally and practically. Either way, that emotional stability sends a clear signal. When you are indifferent to her validation, you communicate abundance without words. You are saying, through behavior, that your worth is not up for negotiation, that her approval is welcome, but not required. That message lands instantly. Scarcity repels. Abundance attracts. This is not ideology. It is instinct. A man desperate for approval feels scarce. A man who is centered in himself feels abundant. Women feel this difference in seconds, often before a conversation even begins. Now add purpose to that indifference. This is where it becomes magnetic. Purpose means your attention already belongs somewhere meaningful. Your energy is invested, not idle. When a man has purpose, he moves differently. He speaks with less urgency. He listens without leaning forward. He is present, but not consuming. This shows he is a complete person, not someone waiting to be completed. He wants companionship, not rescue, connection, not validation. Stoic philosophy speaks directly to this. The Stoics believed dignity comes from self-mastery, from not handing your emotional state to external events, including other people's opinions. A man who needs validation has no inner authority. His mood rises and falls with her responses. A delayed reply unsettles him. A shift in tone destabilizes him. That inner instability leaks out, no matter how polite or well-spoken he is, and it kills attraction quietly, almost instantly. Most men fall into this trap. They adjust their behavior to please. They over-explain. They chase reassurance. They make her the center of their emotional world. They need her interest to feel confident. They need her approval to feel worthy. And that need is felt in every interaction. The man who is indifferent in the right way is different. He does not resist attraction. He does not suppress interest. He simply does not depend on the outcome. He treats her interest as a bonus, not a necessity. A welcome addition, not the main event. His life was already moving before she arrived, and it will continue moving regardless. That posture triggers something primal, something older than logic. It signals strength under pressure and emotional self-sufficiency. Stoicism teaches restraint, not withdrawal, presence, not passivity, the ability to remain steady when uncertainty appears. That steadiness creates trust and desire. When a woman senses that a man will not chase her approval, she leans in. When she senses he has direction, she respects him. When she feels both at once, attraction ignites, whether she wants it to or not. This is why women struggle to admit this truth, because it conflicts with how attraction is often explained socially. It challenges the idea that desire is purely conscious and fair, and that makes people uncomfortable. But reality does not change to protect feelings. It responds to what is real, to strength that does not announce itself, to purpose that does not ask permission. If this makes you uneasy, that is normal. Stoics believe discomfort often signals growth. They value truth over reassurance, and clarity over comfort. So don't use this to manipulate. Use it to build yourself. Build a life that stands on its own, and attraction will follow naturally. Third, this creates a kind of psychological tension that women find hard to resist. When every other man is chasing her, seeking approval, and trying to impress her, you are not. You are engaged with your own life. Your attention is not orbiting around her. You are focused on your goals. Your direction matters to you. And because of that, your attention is not freely given. It has weight. This changes the usual dynamic. Instead of you trying to earn her interest, she feels the need to earn yours, not because you are manipulating anything, but because your attention is not automatic. Humans value what they have to work for. What comes too easily is taken for granted. When validation is scarce, it becomes meaningful. When attention must be earned, it becomes desirable. So when you are not constantly praising her, when you are not always available, when you are not rushing to respond, she becomes more aware of your presence. She starts investing emotionally, not consciously at first, but through curiosity, effort, and engagement. This is how attachment quietly begins. And this happens because you have standards. She does not earn your focus just by existing. Attraction alone is not enough. Character and behavior matter. That alone separates you from most men. Most men hand over attention immediately. They reward beauty without discernment, and that signals low self-respect. Now here is the next layer. Indifference to her validation, combined with deep commitment to your purpose, signals high value through action. You are not telling her who you are. You are showing it. Your time is invested elsewhere. Your energy is building something real. Your days are structured around growth that is visible without explanation. She can feel that your life has momentum, that it would continue whether she stayed or left, that you are not waiting to be chosen. That is powerful. This is very different from the man who drops everything when she shows interest. The man who is always available. The man whose life has no direction outside of her. That man makes her his purpose because he does not have one. That behavior signals low value immediately, not because availability is bad, but because neediness always reveals dependence. And dependence erodes attraction. Stoic philosophy speaks clearly here. A man without inner discipline becomes ruled by external approval. His dignity dissolves when his emotions depend on someone else. Strength comes from self-command. A grounded man chooses how to spend his attention. He is open, but not desperate. Present, but not attached. That restraint creates respect. Now here is why women will rarely admit that this works, because it contradicts what modern culture teaches them to say they want. They are told they should want men who prioritize the relationship above everything. Men who make them the center of their world, so that is what they say. Because it sounds right. It sounds caring. It sounds healthy. But watch behavior, not words. Who do they choose long term? Who do they chase? Who keeps their interest alive? It is not the man who is fully available at all times. It is not the man who organizes his life around her. It is the man with direction, boundaries, and calm indifference to outcomes. The man who would be fine either way. This creates inner conflict for women. They cannot say they are attracted to indifference. That sounds wrong, so they explain it differently. They say he is confident. They say he knows what he wants. They say he is focused and driven. All of that sounds better, but these are just socially acceptable ways of describing the same thing. A man who does not seek validation, a man who has purpose, a man who stands firmly in himself. That combination is what holds attraction over time, not constant reassurance, not emotional overexposure, but strength under pressure. The Stoics would call this dignity, remaining steady regardless of external reactions, holding your frame when things are uncertain. That steadiness is rare, and rarity always draws attention. Let me give you some clear, real examples, so you can recognize this in your own life. You have seen this play out before, even if you did not understand it at the time. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The pattern is consistent. There is the guy who texts her constantly. He is always available. He replies immediately to every message. He keeps asking when he can see her again. She loses interest fast, not because he did something wrong on the surface, but because his behavior reveals something deeper. He has nothing more important than her attention. His life has no weight, no direction pulling him forward, no sense of momentum, only the need to be validated. Now compare that to another man. He texts when he has something real to say. Sometimes he is unavailable, not as a tactic, but because he is actually busy. He might be working, training, building something, focused on his own goals. She stays engaged. She starts wondering what he is doing. Her curiosity grows, because his attention is not guaranteed. She feels she has to earn it, not consciously at first, but emotionally, and effort creates attachment. Now look at another situation. The man who rearranges his entire schedule for her. He drops his plans the moment she is free. He molds his life around her availability. She takes him for granted, because his behavior says his time has no value. If he gives it away instantly, it must not matter much, and what has no value creates no desire. Contrast that with the man who has his own schedule. He invites her into his life instead of orbiting around hers. Sometimes he says no. Sometimes he suggests another time. He might say he cannot tonight. He has something important going on. But he offers another day calmly, without apology. She respects his time, and because she respects it, she makes effort, she adjusts, she invests. His time feels valuable because it is not endlessly available. He is not withholding it. He is using it intentionally. That distinction matters. Now look at validation seeking. The man who constantly checks in, asking if she is happy, asking if everything is okay. He wants reassurance, over and over again. And with each request, attraction fades, because he is handing her responsibility for his emotions. That is heavy, and weight kills desire. No one wants to manage another adult's emotional state. Now compare him to the man who is secure in himself. He assumes things are fine unless told otherwise. He does not monitor her mood. He stays focused on living his life. That security is felt instantly. It signals confidence without noise, strength without tension, and that is attractive. Here is the key point you must understand. This is not about being rude. It is not about being cold, and it is not about disrespect. It is about having something real in your life, something that matters more to you than approval, something that gives your days structure and direction. Without that, nothing else works. Authenticity is everything here. If you pretend to be indifferent, but feel desperate inside, she will sense it. If you pretend to have purpose, but have nothing going on, it will show. This cannot be faked. You must actually build a life worth living. Not for women, for yourself. Women respond to that naturally. Develop real purpose. Commit to real goals. Create something that demands your attention and effort. Become someone with momentum. When your life is full, attention from women becomes an addition, not the center, not the goal, just a bonus. Then indifference to validation stops being an act. It becomes natural. You are not trying to look busy. You are busy. You are not trying to seem focused. You are focused. You are not pretending to have options. Options appear when a man has direction. This is why Stoic philosophy matters here. The Stoics taught living by your own principles, not chasing external approval, not handing your peace to other people. They believed dignity comes from self-command, from knowing what is yours to govern, and what is not. That clarity creates strength. Your effort is in your control. Your character is in your control. Your purpose is in your control. Her approval is not. Her attraction is not. Her choices are not. When you stop chasing what is outside your control, you become grounded. and that grounded presence is magnetic. This leads to outcome independence with direction, calm confidence, strength under uncertainty. That is the foundation. Now let's address the obvious objection. Women say they want emotional availability. They say they want to be prioritized. And that is true, in the right context. They want those things from a man who has already demonstrated value, from a man with purpose, from a man who does not need validation, from a man who stands on his own. Once she is invested, once she is pursuing, once she wants to secure you, then emotional availability becomes attractive. But early on, emotional availability without strength feels like neediness. Without direction, it feels like weakness. Without indifference, it feels heavy. And that kills attraction before it can grow. This is the order most men get wrong. They offer everything before earning respect. They give access before establishing value. And they lose interest before they ever understand why. Get the foundation right. Purpose first, self-mastery first. Then everything else falls into place. This is the sequence. And once you understand it, a lot of confusion disappears. Attraction follows an order. When you reverse that order, things fall apart. First, you demonstrate value, not by proving yourself, but by being indifferent to validation and anchored in clear purpose. That combination creates attraction and pursuit. Only after that happens does the next phase work. Once she is invested, once she is leaning in, then emotional depth and availability become meaningful. That is how attraction turns into connection. Most men do the opposite, and that is why they struggle. They start with availability instead of value. They lead with vulnerability. They lead with prioritizing her. They lead with emotional openness, hoping that will create attraction. It does not, because attraction does not grow from availability. It grows from value, and value is shown through purpose and self-possession. You cannot skip this step. You cannot negotiate it. Nature does not respond to effort alone. It responds to strength. Now let's talk about how to actually live this, because understanding the idea is useless if you cannot embody it. This is not theory. It is a way of structuring your life. The first step is real purpose. Not fake purpose, designed to impress. Real purpose that matters to you even if no woman ever sees it. Something that pulls you forward. It might be your career, your training, a business, a craft you are building. What matters is that it engages you deeply. It challenges you. It gives you a sense of progress that must be central in your life. Your life cannot orbit around women. Women must orbit around a life that already exists. That is the difference. And it changes everything. Next, you structure your time around that purpose. Your schedule reflects your priorities. Your days are not wide open waiting for attention. They are filled with things that matter. When a woman enters your life, she fits into that structure. You do not tear your structure apart for her. That is not cold. That is grounded. Then comes a critical shift. You stop seeking validation for your choices. You decide based on what serves your life, not on what gets approval. If she supports it, great. If she does not, that is fine too. Her reaction does not define your direction. That is inner authority. This is where many men fail. They look to women for confirmation. They want permission to be who they already are. That kills respect. Another key point is walking away when needed. If a situation drains you, you leave. If there is disrespect, you leave. If it adds no value, you leave. This is not cruelty. It is self-respect. Your time and energy are finite. You protect them. A man without standards tolerates anything. A man with dignity does not. Stoicism teaches this clearly. Restraint is strength. You also maintain options, not out of fear, but out of abundance. Your life stays social and expanding. You keep meeting people. You keep growing. You keep improving. Options appear naturally when a man is active and engaged. When you live this way, indifference stops being an act. You are not pretending. You genuinely do not need any single woman because your life already has meaning. That kind of indifference feels different. Women sense it immediately. They can tell when a man is calm because he is full. And when he is acting calm to hide emptiness, the real version attracts. The fake version repels. There is no middle ground. You cannot fool instinct. This is why women will never openly admit this works. Because it sounds wrong when spoken. It sounds like attraction to men who do not care. And that feels uncomfortable to say. But that is not what is happening. You are not emotionally closed. You are emotionally complete. There is a big difference. An emotionally unavailable man is empty inside. He keeps distance to hide that emptiness. A man with purpose is full. He chooses when and with whom to share it. He is open to connection, but only with someone who adds value, not someone who demands it. That distinction is felt, not explained. Women may not articulate it well, but they feel it in his presence. There is no tension, no neediness. He is not chasing. He is not performing. He is not proving. He is living. And she can either fit into that life or not. Either way, he is fine. That emotional independence is powerful. It is rare, so let's bring this home. The one thing that works on every woman is simple: genuine indifference to her validation, combined with clear purpose in your life. This works because it signals abundance. It demonstrates value without words. It creates healthy tension. It activates deep attraction. Women do not admit it, because it clashes with what they are taught to say they want, but behavior always reveals the truth. Watch who they choose. Watch who they pursue. This is not about being mean. It is not about games. It is about building a life so solid that validation becomes optional, not necessary. The Stoics taught this long ago. Focus on what is yours to shape, your effort, your character. Remain calm about what is not. Other people's reactions, their choices, their approval. When you live this way, attraction becomes natural, not forced, not chased, earned through who you are. Build real purpose. Make it central. Let women add to your life, not define it. Stay open, but grounded. If you do this, you will see it for yourself. Women will pursue what they claim they do not want. They will respond to what feels right, not what sounds right, because reality follows its own rules. The real question is this: are you willing to build the life that makes this real? Not as a tactic, but as a way of living.